I'm a dude. He's a dude. She's a dude. This movie was cool. Yeah, yeah. This movie was really cool. Good Burger 2. Not gonna lie to you guys, when they came to me with the idea of Good Burger 2, I said, you know what? Not interested. I've seen so many movies destroyed because they want to add sequels 15, 25, 35 years later. Good Burger 2 was surprisingly and motivationally encouraging and fun to watch. I laughed. Ha 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 ha. I laughed a lot. I laughed a lot. This story, we find ourselves back with Ed and Dexy dealing with life's challenges. Ed's a father now. Dexter's striking out with his business. But the key in this film was how they cultivated the problem. They tied in the first Good Burger. I love that. There's nothing more effective, especially when you're dealing with a story that was published many, many years ago. We're talking about 1997, the original Good Burger, based on all that. Yeah, that was quite a significant gap. I remember I was 97, let's see, going back there, I was about, yada, 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 5 years old when the first Good Burger came out. So that movie was really popular in the early 2000s, and I loved it. Now, Good Burger 2. The plot was very, 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 very nice. They connected it with the first movie. It made sense. The film wasn't rushed. You got a nice comedic element from both Ed and Dexter, both Keenan and Kel. The chemistry between these two really added to the plot so much more uh, as their experience over the years accumulates. It's not easy to make a movie that was a story of many, many years ago, bring those original cast members back, and have them have that same chemistry, that same flow. I will say that this movie definitely gave me the 90s vibe. I really enjoyed it. Even though it was modern, there was modern add-ons to this film, but it was completely a Good Burger film. It was completely Nickelodeon from the 90s, okay? There was no political references, there were no inappropriate scenes, nothing sexual. There's nothing in there that a parent would say, "Oh, I have to shield my kid's eyes." A Good Burger 2 was indeed a great film, and it was nice. The plot flowed so smoothly. It was amazing. Very good comedic presence from Keenan and Kel, and I loved the new cast that they added on because sometimes you'll have these films, they'll bring these people in, and then it's like they're not really carrying the film. They're just saying lines, exiting, saying lines, scene change, etc. But this film was different. It was very different. It really was a breath of fresh air, and I loved the adventure aspect of it. Ed now owns Good Burger. Good Burger's in trouble. Dexter comes up with his quick way to fix things. Things get out of hand. Things get wrapped up very quickly. And a nice, nice ending and a nice, nice sense of homage in connection with the first Good Burger. They brought back some members that I definitely got to give a shout out to. It was nice to be able to see those persons like Carmen Electra as Roxanne. We had Lori Beth Denberg. She was back there. And just to see these persons keep up with their characters, get back into the flow of things, it was nice. You were definitely going to be entertained with Good Burger. It's going to bring you in. The attraction aspect of it was the fact that Keenan and Kel have been together many years. They've had their own show. They worked on all that. So when they said that they were going to make a Good Burger 2, it's automatically going to pull you in. That was exceptionally done. The identity and depth of the film, it really highlights friendship. The movie really drives home the point of being a good friend, even when you make mistakes. There's a nice theme in the film that I think young people today can benefit from because they don't really have the opportunity to see functioning friendships like we did. In the 90s and early 2000s, it was all about friendship and making up with people and peace and things of that nature. And that was really conveyed well in this film, especially when you mess someone's life up. Talking about some of the highlight actors of this film, obviously Keenan and Kel did their part. It was nice to be able to see Kel jump back into this role of Ed because I know it takes a lot of energy out of him to continue to keep up that voice, to be able to have certain presence, etc. I especially though I really enjoyed their dynamic with Jillian Bell. She it's interesting because She is a very, very funny actress. So I enjoyed seeing her as a villain. Usually she plays the comedic roles from time to time, etc. She's done some things on the side, outside of the comedic role. But in this film, to see her as a villain, that was really, really a nice twist. And she did very well keeping that evil, but still balancing that comedic tone of the film. That was extraordinary. The hardest thing to do when it comes to a film like this is the storytelling. You might struggle to tell stories after a story's been told because of the gap of time. But no, you don't have that gap in this film. They do it effortlessly. It was as if the 90s shook hands with the 20s. They did a phenomenal job in keeping the movie upbeat and having great dialogue, especially writing dialogue for Ed. He really was the highlight of this film. Dexter as Keenan as Dexter, he was fine. It was good. But I really enjoyed seeing Ed because he is a character that carries a film like this. So it really was nice that they continued to drive the film that way. It wasn't too slow. They kept a nice pace in the film. There weren't moments where you were overly distracted. The editing was good. And even for a movie that went straight to streaming services, I thought that sometimes what can happen is they can be overly dramatic with movies that go straight to stream. But I could definitely see even this movie being released into theaters because that's just how they got down. Good quality, good editing, nice pace and effect, and then you felt something for these characters. You were able to get the emotion. You were able to really, really put yourself right back into the story that you know and love so well. Now, this next aspect of the film, when you're dealing with the visual language of the film, combined with the soundtrack, the music was well placed. It wasn't a lot of music, but it was well placed when they had it. Um, I really thought that in this manner, this film really drives home the point that there is, as long as there's a good idea and you have a good group of people cultivating that idea, you'll be fine every time. You'll be fine every time. There was a particular it factor in this film that I found to be quite astounding. The twist. I'm not going to spoil it for you guys on this review, but the twist. If you are someone who has not seen the original Good Burger movie, 97, watch that film. Do not click play. Watch this film before you watch that first one because there's a connection there. And if you're someone who grew up with the film and you know it well, you're going to love that twist here in the second film. Another thing that was really noteworthy was that at the end of the film, there are credits that you got to check out because there's blooper reels. One of the things that I was telling my wife that I really miss in modern movies is they don't do blooper reels. You have to wait till 6 and 7 months later to go on TikTok or to go to your social media platform to find these blooper reels. So for them to be able to have that, to see the actors behind the scene, to see how they were driving this movie, building things, being able to get things organized, I really saw them trying to keep in mind the audience of the 90s because you can't forget where you started. So yes, that is what it's about. Good Burger was a great film. It was a good film. It was a good film. So I'm definitely going to recommend that you guys watch it. And obviously, you're not going to lose anything if you do or you don't because it's on a free streaming platform. I mean, it's about, what, $5 a month for Paramount Plus? I have it. So I would recommend that if you don't have Paramount Plus, do a trial or see it with a friend. But other than that, there's just one more thing I have to say to you guys. Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order? Peace out.